want you to cast your minds back to August of 2023. It's the FIFA Women's World Cup and Australia and New Zealand are hosting. The Australian women's soccer team, the Matildas, captured the nation's hearts when playing on their home turf and sparked what has been coined the Matilda effect. The Matilda effect aims to explain the ultimately successful struggle alongside other women who play soccer to compete in the World Cup and the impact that this has had on not only women's sports but conversations around gender equality. The Matilda effect was seen in how their semi-final against England became the most watched TV program in over 2 decades, attracting an average audience of 7 million viewers and reaching over 11 million viewers. It was seen in how after the World Cup, the Albanese government even pledged $200 million to promote equal access, build more suitable facilities, and support grassroots initiatives to get women and girls to engage, stay, and participate in sport throughout their lives. During its run, the Women's World Cup even opened up the conversation about the gender pay gap among soccer players. It championed LGBTQ+ representation, with 13% of all players being part of that group, and instigated a resurgence in tackling sexism in sport. And all because of a little early 2000s Shakespearean soccer movie starring Amanda Bynes. Hello everyone, welcome to this little corner of the internet. If you're new here, hi, my name is Anishna. Thank you for clicking on the video. It's great to have you. And if you're returning, well, hi bestie, how's it going? Thanks for coming back. She's the Man was a film that was released in 2006 and was a loose adaptation of Shakespeare's play, The 12th Night. It centers around high school student and soccer player Viola Hastings, who's spunky, witty, independent, and basically just everything I want to be when I grow up. At her high school, Cornwall, Viola's women's soccer team gets cut, and when told she can't play with the boys team either because of the perception that girls aren't as good at sports as boys, Viola decides to disguise herself as her twin brother to play against her high school's boys team in order to prove that girls are just as good at sports as boys. I don't care what anyone says, She's the Man invented feminism, okay? Don't believe me? Well, honey, we're about to look at the material. On another note, I just felt so compelled to make a video about She's the Man. It's been on my YouTube video ideas dump list for a very long time. But the main reason why I decided to make it here and now is because, frankly, I've been watching a lot of amazing media and content, but also a lot of very serious media and content. I thought I just need to talk about something, you know, light and fun and just a little bit silly. I think that reflects a bigger, not necessarily problem in media at the moment, but more just an observation about how there's not as much silly media as there was in like the early 2000s. And don't get me wrong, I've been loving everything that I've been watching, but after something so serious happened in my personal life last year and the personal life of my partner, I just need to do something a little bit silly and a little bit fun. And She's the Man is exactly the cure. So without further ado, please open up your Feminism 101 textbook to Chapter 1, The Cultural Impact of She's the Man. We open up on the banger No Sleep Tonight by the Faders, and Amanda Bynes' character, Viola, is playing some casual beach soccer with her girly pops. Sis is absolutely tearing the field up, okay? Like, this movie wastes no time in establishing that Miss Hastings is a force to be reckoned with on the pitch. And like I pointed out in my Angus Songs and Perfect Snogging video, there's just something about these early 2000s soundtracks that just hit different.
It's so amazing, and I would play it again and again and again and again.
After their soccer game, Viola is chatting with her boyfriend Justin, who ends up telling her that he thinks that she's better at soccer than half of the guys on his team. And back in the early 2000s, being praised for being like the boys and not like the girls was the epitome of flattery. Cut to the first semester back at school, and Viola learns that her girls' soccer team has been cut.
You are?
So that they can still play, Viola asks the coach of the boys' team if the girls can try out.
Girls aren't as fast as boys.
What? Or strong, or as athletic. It's not me talking. It's a scientific fact. Girls can't beat boys. It's as simple as that.
Viola tries to get her boyfriend to back her up, and like the little rat he is, he denies ever saying that he thought Viola was better than half the guys on his team. This clearly gives Viola the ick, as it would most people.
End of discussion.
End of relationship.
After school, when walking home, Viola gets mistaken for her twin brother by his girlfriend Monique, who, while painfully obnoxious at times, yes, is definitely an icon in her own way, which we will be getting to. When rudely telling Viola to tell her brother to give Monique a call, Viola comes out with this absolute banger of a line.
Does he have your number? 1-800-BIATCH?
The line itself is just so 2000s, like I can't stand it. Once home, Viola's mother is trying to get Viola all excited about the upcoming debutante ball that her junior league is hosting, showing her a range of ugly frilly dresses that look like they could be from bootleg Bridgerton, trying to get Viola to choose one of them, but she shows no interest. Viola also tells her mum that she's actually broken up with Justin, and her mum is clearly devastated about this.
He's so handsome and rugged and chiseled and great.
Then why don't you date him, Mom?
In their shared room, Viola's twin brother Sebastian tells her that he's going to London to tour with his band and asks her to make up an excuse for his new school, Illyria, to explain why he'll be gone for a few weeks. Illyria happens to be Viola's rival school in soccer, and so this is where she hatches the plan to disguise herself as her brother Sebastian for the weeks that he's away, join his new school soccer team, and win the game against Cornwall so that she can prove that girls are just as good at soccer as boys.
If you can't join him, beat him.
Now, this upcoming makeup montage is not like the other makeup montages of the early 2000s, shall we say. While a solid makeover scene is a canon event in the early 2000s movie genre, this one kind of subverts the makeover trope by, obviously, Viola is trying to turn into a guy.
Gagatondra.
Upon arriving at Illyria in her new look,
Hey, what's up? I'm Sebastian.
Viola gets spooked that she's not going to be able to pull it off, but Paul reassures her.
I am a dude. I am a hunky dude. I'm a badass hunky dude. And in the words of Taylor Swift, if I was a man, I'd be the man.
Upon entering her dorm, we realize that Viola is sharing her room with none other than Mr. Channing Tatum himself in his baby form, because this was actually his first breakout role. Viola as Sebastian is clearly making a great first impression with Duke and his friends.
So, you play the beautiful game? Bro? Brothers? Brethren?
And she actually finds out that they play soccer as well. It was going oh so well, I guess, until they find out that Sebastian has tampons in his boot. But don't worry, if there's anything our girl Viola can do, it's come up with a completely logical and plausible excuse in no time.
I get really bad nosebleeds, and you stick it right in.
It absorbs right up. Even with that airtight alibi, Duke and his friends are not buying any of it and deem Viola a freak.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
At soccer tryouts, Viola makes yet another impenetrable excuse to get out of being a skin.
I'm allergic to the sun.
And though she puts everything into those tryouts, she ends up becoming a substitute.
And what gave you the confidence?
Delusion.
Defeated after soccer practice, Viola gets a call to the principal's office, who's a very eccentric man, and wait, where have I seen him before?
I am lost. Told you, Dave. Never lose.
After a fever dream of an interaction with the principal, Viola then bumps into another girl at the school, Olivia, and they both hit it off as friends. At lunch, when trying to make friends with Duke and his friends, when Olivia then enters the canteen, Viola learns that not only is she the most popular girl in school, but her roommate Duke has a massive crush on her. In trying to find common ground with the lads, she ends up pushing them away even further. With no luck in the social department, Viola asks her friend Paul for help, who comes up with an insanely brilliant plan. I'm gonna be real, this is probably my favorite scene of the entire movie. So Viola as Sebastian runs into the guys at their local pizza parlor.
Nice.
And she has her best friends pose as ex-lovers in order to make it look like she has some reals. She's really trying to show that she is the man and has game with the ladies. The way I could quote to you the entirety of this scene is absurd. Like, I really wish I had more space up here, but honestly 80% of my brain capacity is taken up by early 2000s movie quotes.
Call me anytime.
Just know, I'll never forget you, Sebastian. Ever!
Just as the plan's starting to work, Sebastian's current girlfriend Monique comes to the pizza parlor. And here is where we get to witness why we rightfully refer to her as Mother.
What are you, hitting on me?
Girls with asses like mine do not talk to boys with faces like yours. Viola has to keep her distance as she knows Monique will recognize her the minute she sees her, so ends up breaking up with her in a dramatic fashion at the pizza parlor in front of everyone.
And when my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly. We're done.
And this is what solidifies him as the man among Duke and his friends, and not only just them, but the entire school.
What's up, brothers? Hey, Sebastian. Lovelies. Holla at your boy.
So the class all get assigned lab partners, and Viola as Sebastian gets put with Duke's crush, Olivia. When Viola goes to sit with Olivia, she admits that dissecting animals kind of freaks her out, and Olivia finds this really admirable, as she rightfully points out that a lot of guys wouldn't actually admit to that. During class, Olivia somehow gets her hands on some of Sebastian, Viola's actual brother's lyrics. Like, my Roman Empire is thinking about why and how these song lyrics are even in the Illyria blazer, considering Sebastian has not attended this school just yet. But it's an early 2000s movie. We have to suspend all our beliefs. From reading his lyrics though, you can tell Olivia is starting to fall a little bit for Sebastian. I'm sure this won't cause any problems whatsoever. After class, Duke pulls Viola as Sebastian aside and asks her to put in a good word for him, Ari Olivia. And if she does, he'll train with her so that she can be good enough to make first string for the Cornwall game.
You got a deal?
You're the man.
Yes, I am.
We then get a montage of Viola working hella hard on her soccer, and as a result, her and Duke getting a little bit closer. So later on in science class, Viola takes this opportunity to start talking to Olivia about Duke and bigging him up. And when Olivia dismisses this and gives her reasoning, Viola can actually relate to that reasoning, and that again makes Olivia like her even more. Back in the dorm, Viola lets Duke know that she got him an in with Olivia, and she does this in the most Viola Sebastian way possible.
Who's your daddy?
When she lets him know this, Duke actually admits that he actually struggles talking to girls. And Viola, to help Duke get comfortable talking to girls, essentially becomes herself.
I'm Viola. Duke, nice to meet you.
Okay, that was creepy. You
Really just sounded like a girl just then.
And I think we can all agree that their chemistry be flowing.
Do you like cheese?
Why, yes, I do. My favorite's Gouda.
I like Gouda too.
However, this flow is quickly brought to an absolute halt. Once the spiders left, Viola gets a call from her mother letting her know about the carnival fundraiser for the debutante ball, and Duke says that his mum's also part of the committee, so will be attending as well. We just know some chaos is going to go down at this carnival. At the carnival, Viola's mum tells her that she has a shift at the kissing booth. When Viola arrives at the kissing booth, Olivia's actually also doing her shift and arrives just in time for Duke to be the next one in line. At first, Duke is disappointed, but that doesn't last for long, folks, because when they kiss, the chemistry that they seem to have been building up the past week and a bit just flows through. The romantic music swells and they continue to make out until it is rudely interrupted by Viola's ex, Justin. As a result, he and Duke get into an all-out brawl. Their tornado of violence is just destroying everything in its path. When Viola returns back to the Illyria dorms as Sebastian, she finds Duke with a tampon up his nose to absorb the blood. Duke then tells Viola as Sebastian that he kissed Viola, and Viola has just the reaction you'd expect from being the one party who has all the information.
If you want to kiss her, you go right ahead and you kiss her. Take her and then kiss her and then kiss the crap out of her.
From this, they have a bit of a D&M where Viola realizes that there is a deeper, more sensitive side to Duke, and that just makes her like him even more. As Viola and Duke continue to train, the coach of the Illyria team notices and upgrades her to first string. Later on, as they're lifting weights, Duke then tells Viola as Sebastian that he wants to ask Viola out, and obviously this is much to her delight. Meanwhile, Olivia is also at the gym fawning over Sebastian, and her friend gives her the advice to use Duke to make Sebastian jealous. Olivia decides to pursue this option, and Duke immediately folds like a deck of cards at Olivia just giving him the slightest amount of attention, which I would be mad at, but it gives us the iconic phone flip.
Hello.
Like, Duke really thought he ate with that. Forgetting about Viola, Duke agrees to have dinner with Olivia. So to try and salvage the situation, Viola then approaches Olivia and says that she kind of backtracks on the idea of Olivia and Duke. As this is exactly what Olivia wants, she invites Sebastian to come on the date as a double date and invites the resident nerd of the movie, Eunice.
I'm so there, it's insane.
On the double date, Duke and Olivia arrive early, and did somebody say crickets? Because it's very clear that these two have no chemistry. Yet as soon as Viola as Sebastian and her date Eunice arrives, immediately Olivia is laying it on thick with Duke to make Viola as Sebastian jealous. Because she's so uncomfortable, Viola leaves, which causes Olivia to immediately leave as well, which then just leaves our boy Duke and his lab partner Eunice. We then get a brief scene of actual Sebastian leaving Monique a voicemail explaining that he's actually coming back early from London, which, spoiler alert, is definitely going to start causing some shenanigans. So at a debutante tea party, Viola, Olivia, and Monique are all in attendance. And can I just get a moment for Viola's dress in this scene? The Versace, the masculine buckles with the feminine silhouette. It's just chef's kiss. At this tea party, Viola is just absolutely death staring Olivia while she munches away on her chicken. And girl, I'm sorry, but it's giving bitter. It's giving jealous.
Thank you for the chicken.
When Olivia heads to the bathroom, Viola follows her, and she ends up finding out that Olivia doesn't actually like Duke, but likes Sebastian, which is her.
And when he smiles, I just can't stop looking at him. He's just...
This love triangle is very Shakespeare coded, and I'm here for it. So Viola tries to convince Olivia that in a way she needs to just move on, but Olivia takes this as, oh, yep, I need to pursue Sebastian with full force. While Olivia is gushing in the bathroom about Sebastian, who is it that walks out of the bathroom cubicle but Monique? And she's so fired up that she starts a full-on brawl between her and Olivia. So this is where it all starts coming to a head. So I want you to buckle up and get ready. In the evening, the real Sebastian arrives early to Illyria, and when Olivia sees him getting out of the taxi, she kisses him passionately and recites his song lyrics back to him. And they have an audience because Duke sees everything. And Mans is not a happy chappy. Later that night, when Viola returns to her room as Sebastian, Duke confronts Viola about kissing Olivia, and the two have a heated argument. Because while Viola's trying to explain that it wasn't her, she can't really. So Duke just fully kicks her out of their room the night before the big Cornwall game. I don't know about y'all, but it seems like this may start causing some issues. Monique then shows up at Duke and Viola, aka Sebastian's dorm, to try and talk to Sebastian after hearing the voicemail, because now she's confused. She's leaving her voicemails from London, but then breaking up with her in a pizza parlor in America. Suspicious. So Duke, quite aggressively, I might add, tells Monique that Sebastian's not there and actually gives her Sebastian's phone. Monique, like the detective she is, realizes that it's Viola's phone and starts putting the pieces together. And so her and this other guy who's made cameos throughout the movie, he's basically like obsessed with Olivia. He's personally not super relevant, but the two of them then go to the principal to explain everything. Even later that night, the real Sebastian then enters his dorm while Duke's asleep, and Viola as Sebastian decides to room with with Eunice. In the morning, actual Sebastian gets woken up by his soccer team in quite a hurry as he's late for the soccer game, and because Eunice didn't wake her up on time, Viola too is late for the soccer game. By the time Viola arrives, the game has already started and her brother is out there doing the worst job possible, butchering her one chance to even prove the thing that she came to Illyria for.
It's like watching Bambi learn how to walk.
This is when the principal stops to announce to everyone in the crowd, including Viola's parents, as well as people that don't even go to Illyria, they just came to watch a good old game of high school soccer, that Sebastian is in fact a girl, his twin sister Viola. Why the principal felt the need to tackle this situation in this particular moment, in this particular way, we'll never know. But hey, it's a 2000s movie, remember? Suspend all belief. So it's not looking too good for actual Sebastian, but luckily enough, it's actual Sebastian on the field. So he tries to convince everyone that he's a boy, nobody's buying it. So what does he do? The most natural course of action when you're in that situation. So seeing as the situation's resolved, Sebastian is a boy, they get on with the game, but the coach actually puts Sebastian on the bench because clearly he hasn't been playing his best. At halftime, Viola manages to pull Sebastian aside.
Wait, are those real?
Oh yeah, I'm growing sideburns now.
When Viola goes back out on the field, she convinces the coach to put her back in the game and starts playing hard.
Yeah, now that's Viola.
I mean, what other way is there to play really when you're playing for all womankind? During this half, Duke scores a goal for Illyria, which we love to see, but because of how mad he is at Sebastian, he doesn't pass to him, which results in an unfurling of events that actually lead Cornwall to score as well. And this brings the score to a tie. The team becomes quite fractured by Duke's selfishness, and honestly, if I were Viola, this would be a little bit of a red flag. But on the pitch, she tries to use the limited time that they have to try and convince Duke that after the game she'll explain everything, but for now they just need to win. Somehow this erupts into the third full-on brawl of this movie. And so, exasperated at having to keep up the lie, Viola comes clean. Not only about being Sebastian, but also about being in love with Duke.
I'm not Sebastian. I'm Viola.
Duke still doesn't believe her, and like brother, like sister, I guess.
Is it just me, or does this soccer game have more nudity than most?
At this reveal, the coach of the Cornwall team, who originally didn't want Viola and her friends trying out for the soccer team, comes to rain on everybody's parade by telling Illyria that their team have to forfeit because girls aren't allowed in the league. Now, the true feminist of this movie comes into his own, which is the coach of the Illyria team. He rips up that handbook, i.e. the patriarchy, and allows Viola to play. Towards the end of the game, Viola gets violently slide tackled, which gets the player to receive a red card, giving her a penalty kick. And this will decide not only the game, but the fate of all women. The stakes are high, to say the least. Viola's ex, Justin, is the goalie, and he's trying to get all in her head, but fails miserably. Because why? Well, the power of feminism is just too damn strong. Viola scores with style and wins the game for Illyria. While everyone's celebrating, Duke skulks off on his own, which clearly kind of indicates that he still hasn't quite forgiven Viola yet. Seemingly a few days later, when actual Sebastian officially moves into his dorm, he gives Duke a present from Viola.
I could hold you forever.
The Stratford Junior League invites you to the 38th Annual Debutante Ball.
Cut to all the girlies getting ready at the debutante ball, and Viola is worried that Duke won't show. When she goes for a walk to get some air, she goes to this beautiful misty lake in the moonlight, and who shows up but Duke?
I miss my roommate. I really liked him.
Well, he's right in here.
You know, maybe if I'd have known you were a girl, we wouldn't have talked like we did. And got to know each other the same way.
Everything you told me when I was a guy just made me like you so much more as a girl.
At the ball, the debutantes are getting announced on stage, and Duke and Viola make their grand entrance. can we have another moment for this dress? The white Versace was a dress, but this is the dress. Let's not get it twisted. The color, the silhouette, the material. Flash forward and Viola is an official member of the Illyria soccer team, and she's just living out her dreams playing soccer with her man. Now, according to scientists, this scene alone altered the brain chemistry of so many young women that soccer ball sales and sign-ups to local soccer clubs skyrocketed by 200%. Don't believe me? Go and fact check it. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching and going on this little journey of this silly little soccer movie with me. She's the Man has a special place in my heart, and while it's not a highbrow look into the treatment of women in sport or anything like that, the message is still pretty solid and it's just a good old time. Even rewatching it for this video, there were just so many points where I was quoting every single line and just cackling like a banshee. So if you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to join the family because we'd love to have you here. And please feel free to leave a comment about what your favorite thing about She's the Man is, or any other early 2000s movies that you love, or maybe even any that you want me to cover. And thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one.